All right, Barlow Brigade. How y'all doing here on this late Sunday? Well, wasn't really planning on doing a video today, but y'all know, I guess y'all know how it is, man. I sit around. I've been rubbing on. I got one knife that I've been working on all week. That is going to be my modified Monday, and I just was working on it, and thinking about stuff, and then all of a sudden I get this short this morning that kind of inspired me. So I'm gonna that's what we're gonna go with. Y'all saw the title, so let's start it off the right way. First of all, we got the old pocket cross from Dwayne Clark. Um, Dwayne Clark's just an outstanding individual. I got a message from Cornelius in Arkansas that my brother from another mother, HT, might be coming to the Deep South Cutlery show in April. So I've kind of been doing backflips about that here for a couple of hours. Man, that'd be great. I hope to see Brother Dwayne there. My brother from Louisiana, over at Briar Patch Blades, Brother Chuck, he's already more or less committed. Said he's like me, man. That ain't that the trip over here ain't nothing for him. So anyway, I hope that it turns out. I mean, that's three knife tubers. Then you're gonna have Doc is the special guest, and Brother Rex Wiseman from Brothers and Blades. You just got. I mean, it's going to be. Not only is it going to be an outstanding event that is all about knives, but it's also going to be probably a YouTuber meetup that is going to be could be phenomenal for some folks. But anyway, we'll get into all that later. Brother Dwayne Clark and Pocket Cross. We're gonna pray about it. We're gonna, great individual. Can't say enough about Brother Dwayne. All right, little eye candy for y'all here on the Deep South Cutlery Anvil. This is, let me get it. Y'all can see that long rifle, y'all. I try not to give y'all too much advice, but if you're missing out on these long rifles, you're missing the show. Look at them bone handles. Red bone, got that beautiful shield, long rifle shield. Now they call this a peanut, but I mean that's a big one. That's 3 3/4 inches. Just a beautiful knife, man. Got that sexy spear point blade. Got that good got the pin blade in there. Y'all, these things are. You get them Smoky Mountain Knife Works for under $25, most of them. So, I've got 4, maybe 5 of them now, and I've almost ordered Big Daddy, Granddaddy Barlow this morning. I looked at it and had my finger poised over the button, but didn't do it, not yet. Anyway. Okay, my inspiration for today was a couple of days ago. Our brother Stephen Jeffries from over there in South Carolina put out a short video about a doctor's knife, and I texted him and told him how I had a video planned. I've had this planned for a minute, y'all. I downloaded all the information. I've had it in my computer for a minute. But my problem is, I love to give knives away. And every doctor that I have, which I have there's 3 of that take care of me and keep me healthy. And I've gifted all of them a doctor's knife. Plus, HT's wife, Mrs. HT, she's a, I think she does some kind of, X-ray type stuff in the medical field. So I gifted her a doctor's knife. So it's gonna be hard for us to sit here and talk about doctor's knives when you're giving them all away. But anyway, that ain't got nothing to do with what we're talking about. Stephen Jeffries. Now that was, I believe, day before yesterday that he dropped that short featuring a doctor's knife. Well, this morning I get up and he's got a CRKT, I believe it is, or maybe I don't know what it is, but it's a fixed blade neck knife, or you can put it on in a belt clip, I believe, or they have a belt clip that comes with it. And one of those, I don't know what it was, but I think I even have one that I modified a little bit because I didn't really like it. But anyway, he had this knife sitting on a stump, okay? And now I know, my daddy was a forester for 65 years in Stone County, Mississippi. And this stump had a fungus growing on it. It's a mushroom type fungus that grows on rotting stumps. And but Stephen Jeffries looks at that and he sees art. Okay, and so I've really been struggling trying to see or figure out why I'm so drawn to what Stephen Jeffries does. He did a Barlow thing not long ago in a sunset. So when I responded this morning to his short that he put out, I told him that he had the eye, and maybe some of y'all don't catch that, but he's got the eye. He sees things in an artsy way that I make a little, I put a little stuff out there from time to time in front of my, a little stuff here, a little stuff there that, maybe a dice from a Yu-Gi-Oh game or something, I just throw something out there, like today I got a cigarette lighter that my son gave me. I don't even drink, but it doesn't matter because my son gave it to me, and it's a bitchin' lighter. So that's the reason it's sitting there, because I like it. But Stephen Jeffries has stepped up. He's getting, I did the thing with the elephants not too long ago. Things like that. Just, I'll get an idea in my head and I'll try to pop it out there for y'all. And, it was featuring my elephant toenails. So I put a herd of elephants in the background. But anyway, my inspiration for this video is about the doctor's knives. And it was inspired by a couple of recent posts by Mr. I'm going to call him Mr. Stephen Jeffries this time, because not only does he do art, but well, I guess, like I say, he's got the eye. He thinks art. He'll put an album cover up, and then that'll relate into something that has to do with what I don't know how to explain it to y'all. Anyway, doctor's knives. Let's go over the history. Well, first of all, let me show you one, because this is just the cutest thing in the world right here. Frost cutlery. Y'all know I ain't scared of no frost. This is a buffalo horn small doctor's knife. Okay, that's hard for me to. It's like a peanut size. It's not a very big knife, but it's a baby doctor's knife, and just as cute as it can be, and I like it. So I bought, I probably gave $6 or $7 for that off of eBay. I don't really remember, but I got it. I like it. I kept it. Okay, number two, and I believe this could be actually the knife that was featured in Stephen Jeffries' video, but I don't know that. I don't remember what it was, but I know kind of what it was. And it's also a Frosty. Okay, there's part number. But this is full size. Now, a normal doctor's knife is less than 4 inches. It's usually about 3 5/8 and 3 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and this one comes in here. We got the beautiful jig bone pattern, kind of an autumn pattern on the dyeing and the jigging and the burning. Uh, but this one has a single spear point blade, and just a beautiful knife, frost color. Got a little snappy going there with it. Okay, it's a great knife. Okay, history of the doctor's knife. The doctor's knife was first introduced or first developed around the 1860s during the Civil War. They would carry, the doctors needed something to carry. Now, I don't know if it was a fixed blade knife or what it was, how it was made, but that's primarily when this particular type of knife came into view or came into to what was going on. Okay, and then around 1910, that's when doctors started making house calls. Usually on a horse by themselves. They would make a circuit and go ride through the countryside, going to different people's houses and taking care of business when they got there. If something needed to be amputated, if something needed to be, and remember amputation now, things like that had to be done. The knife at that time had two blades. Normally it was the spear point blade and then a pin blade and or a spatula. Okay, so the spatula came in developed later on, and I'll give you a little bit more about that here in a minute. But the next one we got coming in here is the marbles. Okay, and this one's kind of unusual. It's not really unusual because it's a doctor's knife, but it has, and this y'all know marbles. It's an orange pattern. That shield is just the micarta, black micarta has been inlaid into the orange micarta. Has the flat bottom pill buster, but there's no metal. Okay, that's your pill buster. Okay. Now this one's is light, very light pull, and has some snap, but not, it's not a beast of a knife. No doctor's knife. The pull on any doctor's knife is normally less than 5 and usually less than 4. And I don't really know how to rank a doctor's knife, the pull and all that kind of stuff. I don't do pulls, and I don't try to tell you what it's a 5 or 6 or a 7, but I'm just using that as part of what I've learned about doctor's knives from listening to other people that have them and do reviews on them. Okay, next coming in, the classic carbon. The old Rough Rider. That's right. Y'all know me, I love my Rough Riders. There's your 1732 double R. Okay, this is carbon steel. Okay. And once again, it's a single blade. Of course, Rough Rider they do a lot of they go out on limbs and they take which you'll find out on the next example. They take chances almost all their knives. You get you'll have Arctic Fox and you'll have Stoneworks and you'll just have all different kind of series of knives, and they use those series to get people to try to buy the whole series. Okay, but this is carbon steel. If you know carbon steel, I don't have to say anything else. It sharpens good, it sharpens quick, and it keeps an edge, and they're pretty dang good die. All right, so there's your carbon steel from Rough Rider. Now next, while I'm showing y'all this one, I'm gonna put some knowledge on y'all that I learned from somebody else. Okay, now this thing is Stoneworks from Rough Rider. Like I say, they take chances. Okay, now in Stone County where I live, there's a couple of people. One of them, there's a set of twins. It's Bruce and Barry Meadows. And I don't know which one. One of the two, they're a set of twins, and one of the two has a serious Doctor's knife collection. He's one of those guys that'll go buy the $200 and $300 case double X knives that were produced after the 20s, when doctors were actually buying these knives to go out on their circuits. Okay, now this one has the spatula. Now this spatula, it's thick. Okay, the original doctor's knives, this was very thin, and you could bend it. Okay, and now this differs from a pharmacist's knife. A pharmacist's knife didn't normally have a blade that had a sharp blade. It only came with the spatula. Some of them rode circuits, and they would stop and make prescriptions for people that they were more or less doctoring people at the time, recommending this and recommending that. That's where you get that old elixir that would fix everything from. But anyway, get into my story. So right now, your main people making these types of knives for frost cutlery, Rough Rider, and Case. Of course, now Case just reintroduced the baby doctor's knife as their vault pattern this year. In 2018, they did the full-size doctor's knives, and they're almost impossible to find. But now my story about this is not too long, a few years ago, I'd say 4 or 5 or 6, I went to a church function, and at this function, I made my plate. It was a family night we have on Wednesday night here at the Methodist Church. I make my plate, and I go sit down. I just, so I sat down next to Dr. Jim Holmes. Okay, just an outstanding person. He was my daddy's best friend. They played golf together 2 times a week. I respect this gentleman. He's operated on me 2 or 3 times. He was a surgeon. And I sit down beside him, and I pull out a doctor's knife to cut my beet with. And he breaks down into a story about how the doctor's knife, the reason the pull is not so not very much, it's not real stiff. The reason for that is because 99% of the time, these doctors that were going making house calls didn't have a nurse. So it's usually the guy's wife or his sister or his mama, and they had to open these knives up and clean the knives and things like that for the doctor, because he was sitting there with his hands inside the patient. A fact I didn't know. He was the one that enlightened me about the spatula being very flexible, because they would take and make salves. They would mix stuff up. They would count peels and stuff, when they were prescribing stuff for people. But the main thing was these salves and stuff. And see, this has no bend at all. It's like a knife blade. So Dr. Holmes filled me in, and on the doctor's knife. Now, guys, I know that this Rough Rider here is kind of, some people may even call it gaudy. It's got a sheep blade, got the spatula, but it has malachite. It's what this green stuff is, and then it's got pearl handles. Now, is it real pearl? I have no idea. But anyway, there's my little stories about the doctor's knife. Very interesting pattern. If I dug through my boxes long enough, I probably could find a couple more. I don't know that I could or not, but that's my deal about the doctor's knives. It's a great pattern, something you can give your wife, and she can carry it in her purse. Something you can put in your pocket and take to church and still show up with a decent knife. Don't go out there and try to buy those case double X's now with the bone handles. Some of those son guns, $200, $300, $400. It just depends on which one you get, what model you get. I saw a silver script doctor's knife, single bladed, spear point with red. It was a red bone. So for $400, $125 recently, and y'all may y'all. I'm not gonna mention the auctioneer because I ain't about that. But anyway, guys, don't miss the boat on these long rifles. Excellent pocket knife right there, guys. Just an excellent pocket knife. Don't miss the boat. I'm giving. That's just my advice for y'all. Doctor's knives, get in there where you fit in there. All right, old Big Jim here in South Mississippi. Gonna tell y'all rule number 9.